something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving.
वेलकम टू द CIL, जहां हम कुछ इंटरेस्टिंग लोगों से बात करते हैं एंड उनसे कुछ सीखने की कोशिश करते हैं सो वी कैन लर्न एंड ग्रो टुगेदर. टुडे वी हैव Arun Prabhudesai with us. Arun Prabhudesai does not need any introduction literally, but for people who don't know, I'll give a quick intro. Arun Prabhudesai is an entrepreneur, a blogger, and a founder of popular business blog Track.in. Track has been featured as top 10 Indian business blogs by Times India. And Arun, it's an honor to have you on the show. Thank you so much for doing this.
It's my pleasure to be on the show.
Thank you. So Arun, I'd like to start from the beginning. एकदम शुरू से जर्नी को शुरू करते हैं, ठीक है? So where did you grow up?
Where did I grow up? In Pune. It's a city in Maharashtra, if you don't know. It's about 160 kilometers south of Bombay. So Pune is a place where I grew up, and I love the city. So even after I had chances to move out, I still preferred to be in Pune. So that's the place I grew up in.
So how was that journey from being in a Pune? Take us through that journey, and how did you got into blogging? And
I'll tell you. So it's interesting, you know. From my educational background, I am a civil engineer. Okay.
yeah.
But I have always in front of computer screen rather than in front of buildings. You know, it started way back, about late 90s, early 2000s.
Wow.
And that's when I got into IT. Yeah. And I was in IT industry for about 10 to 11 years. I was in US and working there as project manager, you know, doing what a lot of software professionals do. But I wanted to come back to India, and I decided, and I was looking at opportunities because startup scene was just growing. This was in 2007, 2008 when I wanted to come back, and it was about 8-9 years I was already there. So I said, let me find out what are the opportunities in India. And when I was doing that, I also thought that why not share it with people, that what is happening in India, because a lot of people in US and across the world did not know what was happening, how India was growing. So I decided to share it on a blog, and that's why it's tracking, because I was tracking business, technology, startups, what was happening back in India. That's how the name came in. I did not get track.in, so I took trak.in. And that's where it started. But it was initially a personal blog, because I was more into, I wanted to have a startup of my own in tech space and stuff like that. So I used to write within 6-7 months of the launch of Tracking. We got a lot of people conversing. Earlier there was, you know, at that time Facebook and Twitter were not very popular. Blogs was like where a lot of communication, blogs and forums were the two places where a lot of communication happened. So we used to get a lot of comments, people asking more things, and we used to have great discussions. So Tracking became popular in the first year from 2007, April, May to about 2008 when I came. It became very popular. Although it was personal blog only, I was writing. And I came back, I had a first startup called Over.in, which was in text advertising, which got acquired, kind of acquired in 2010-11. Then I had another startup. Tracking full-time along with a team only started in 2012-2013. That is the time I took it full-time. And now we have some really great writers. We have a team of about 7-8 people. And that's how the journey has been. So like most of the bloggers who just started out of college or, you know, probably very early in their career, with me that was not the case. I started pretty late. And writing and conversing and you know, putting across my idea has been one of the passions, so to say. I really love putting across my ideas because I'm interested, you know, like most of the people, I am not in just one vertical. I like to explore. I like to look at various verticals and stuff like that. So tracking was probably the best way for me to communicate with a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people.
So,
And I have been hooked on since.
mm-hmm. So थोड़ा डिटेल में बताओ सिविल इंजीनियरिंग when were you doing the civil engineering?
That was about late 90s, 96, 97.
अच्छा
I
अच्छा अच्छा.
finished.
So
Yeah, so that was.
were you using internet back then? I'm sure.
Yes, yes, yes. I will tell you how the journey has been.
अच्छा
So when I passed out civil engineering, I really did not know computers at all, for that matter, at that
अच्छा.
time. But somehow my friend's elder brother had started a company, a startup way back then,
Wow.
in Pune, called Wakefield Mnemonics Info Networks. And
Mm-hmm.
we were India's at that time. We were India's first private internet service provider. And I'll give you one interesting thing. We bought a 64 kbps lease line for 8 lakhs from
Wow.
BSNL in 97, 98.
Wow.
And then we distributed that. So I was part of that startup,
Mm-hmm.
and we used to give internet connections. I used to install those modems, 28.8 kbps and 33.6 kbps. I don't know whether you even relate to it, but way back at that time, late 90s, internet was not very common.
Mm-hmm.
And so, interesting thing is that 64 kbps lease line we had in our office, and we were probably the first ones in Pune
Mm-hmm.
to have that. And when I browsed the internet for the first time, I was hooked onto it. I said, "This is what is going to be my life." And
Mm-hmm.
I have been an internet citizen since then. So we have come a long way. So I am a person who has used landlines and then pagers. I have used mobiles when the outgoing was 32 rupees and incoming was 60 rupees per minute.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so I have used. So that was the time when I used that Nokia brick phone. My
Mm-hmm.
first phone I think I bought in 97, 1997 or 98. So I
Mm-hmm.
have seen a drastic change. I'm in a unique position to know how technology and internet has changed our lives.
Mm-hmm.
And
I
yeah,
remember
so
back in the days when my father used to have a pager and I was blown away by the fact that acha you can receive messages on that. Amazing.
yes, yes, that was the case. Absolutely right. When it
Yeah.
first time the pager came, or first time when mobile came, mobile was so expensive that we used to use it only for missed call.
Mm.
Because 32 rupees per minute, only if it was very urgent we used to use it. Otherwise, if someone wanted to talk, or they used to say, okay, missed call de do ya message bhej do. Message was slightly cheaper. So calls were very, although we were carrying phones, it was not like now. You don't even
Mm.
think twice before making a call. Way back, it was not like that. But
Mm.
then Reliance came. Like Geo is making a splash right now.
Mm.
In late 90s or early 2000, I don't remember properly. But they came up with, the phone prices came down in 500 rupees. You can
Yeah.
own a smartphone,
That
and
was
it will.
back in 2004 5 I think.
Yeah, yes. No, no, 2003,
Acha.
2003, 2004, around that time. Yeah.
Mm.
So, for first 4, 5 years, it was very expensive. So it came down from 32, it came down to 16, then to 8, then it came down to 4. And then, it was Tata Docomo which introduced per second billing in 2008
Mm.
or something, 2008, 2009. So it's been an interesting journey from a very long time. And like I said, I'm lucky to witness a time when everything was offline to a time when everything is online. So
Great.
yeah, so
So
that's how
great.
it
That
is.
is a very interesting journey. So how did you got into
Yeah.
blogging? When did you discover कि blogging भी एक कुछ चीज है?
So honestly, first time I discovered blogging was in 2004, 2005,
Wow.
on Blogspot. Blogspot
Mm-hmm.
था तभी. And I used to just write. I didn't know that you could, just write something and publish. It was very new to me. And but I used it as a personal thing.
Mm-hmm.
But like I told you, in 2007, when I wanted to come back to India, I said, I should put my experiences, what I am experiencing there, or the opportunities which are there in India. I should write about it. Whatever I'm, experiencing, or whatever I'm researching, I should also share it with others. And that is the time I started seriously blogging. And it was again on WordPress.com. It was just started. Blogspot was there, then WordPress.com, and then I shifted to the hosted platform WordPress.org.
So did you like discover WordPress by accident, or did someone मतलब वो कैसे था? How did you discover WordPress then?
No,
Because
I
it is
basically, yeah. See,
because it is
back then it was just very, very new. 2008,
mm,
2007, 2006, 2007,
mm,
2007 to be precise. It was very new. It was the first version that came out as a open source
mm,
WordPress.org, the hosted platform. And I read about it and I thought that it was excellent. And that's the reason I said, let me just use it. So I
mm,
was on Blogspot, which was kind of on Google, but then I could have it on my own this thing as well. So
mm.
I used WordPress.org.
Nice. तो you were kind of an early adopter then, ठीक है? क्योंकि उस टाइम पे 2004 2005 nobody had imagined कि oh let's put my thoughts and ideas on the blog. Even
No, even yeah. So absolutely right. I'm one of the early adopters, but I actually started blogging only about 2007, 2008. Not
mm,
not earlier than that. I knew about blogging platforms. You asked me a question that how did you know about
mm.
blogging and all. So my first tryst with it was in 2004, 2005. But I actually started blogging, very late, around 2007,
अच्छा
2000,
तो when
2007.
you were starting in 2007, did you know that you could actually earn money and make it into a business?
No, 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 no. It was never a business for me. It was
Hmm.
just sharing ideas and thoughts. It was a personal, like I said, it was a personal platform. It was personal thing where startups were just coming up in India, and I wanted to write about them. I wanted to post my uh, thought process about
Hmm.
how these startups are doing or what is the opportunity which is there. So it was a personal thing. I never put ads for first what 4, 5, 6 months,
Mhm.
but later on, I started seeing and reading online that you can start making money. So as I just applied to AdSense, and then they said, okay, my AdSense got approved, and started putting, and I could see that yes, blogging can make some money. So that's how it started. So when I started, it was not as a business. It was
Hmm.
as just as I wanted to express myself. That's all.
That's great. I've noticed this कि जितने भी लोग in last 5 to 8 years have started and then they've got it big. किसी ने भी ये सोच के नहीं किया था कि हमें ये we need to make money out of it and we have some business plans around it. सबने I think mostly they have started it because of passion. मेरा भी same था. I've never
नहीं,
did
मैं
it for
उसके
the
उसके
money.
पीछे का उसके पीछे का रीजन बोलता हूँ मैं क्या है।
Mhm.
अभी जो चालू करते हैं वो सब पैसे के लिए चालू करते हैं, सो दे आर नॉट लुकिंग एट देयर ब्लॉग कि भाई मेरे को क्या अच्छा लगता है, मेरे पास क्या है और मैं क्या लोगों को दे सकता हूँ विच विल ऐड वैल्यू टू देम। अभी वो लोग करते हैं कि यार ये पैसा बना रहा है, ये पैसा बना रहा है, मैं भी पैसा बनाऊंगा ब्लॉगिंग में,
Hmm.
उस हिसाब से चालू करते हैं सर। So that is what the problem is. That people start just because they think it's easy money, and it is not easy money.
At
You
all,
even
not at all.
yeah. So I said it in 2007. I have said it in 2010, 12, 15, 16. Anytime anyone asks me, I tell content is the thing. If you have good content, if you write good stuff, what that people want, you will
Hmm.
be able to make money. That is
Hmm.
what it is.
And I guess that is the same case with startups, right? मतलब out of passion होगा तभी होगा.
Yes, yes, yes. You can, I mean, startup is become so fashionable now that people. अरे इसने चालू किया मैं भी चालू करता हूँ. It is not a it is not a child's play that anyone can start.
बिल्कुल.
It needs commitment. It needs a lot of effort. It needs passion. सबसे
Hmm.
ज्यादा passion चाहिए किसी चीज के लिए. And then only you can excel in that, and then you can probably create a business out of it. Otherwise, it is not going to happen just for the sake of doing it.
आजकल तो ऐसा हो गया है कि if you are not doing anything, so you are an entrepreneur. है ना? I think
Yeah,
a
I
true
mean,
I think a true entrepreneur would do regardless if he gets success or not. मतलब वो सोचेगा 20 साल 30 साल I'll keep doing this regardless of any results, है ना? I think that would be a
absolutely.
true passion behind the startups and creating products.
नहीं मैं आपको बोलता हूँ, see the whole point about starting up is that you have something that you can uh, the skill set, make the skill set, the opportunity. There is not one thing for success of a startup. There are thousands of variables, hundreds of variables, and
Mhm.
one of the main thing is founder. The main thing is the founder.
Agreed.
How is he? What is his passion for what he's doing? What are his skill sets and stuff like that? And that's again a completely different topic. And I think we should stay away from it. Otherwise, I'll keep on. I can talk for hours on that. So let's not get into
We'd
that.
love to hear into it.
Probably some other time. Let's talk about
Sure,
blogging
sure,
right now.
sure. So
Yeah.
that's great. Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, so that's what it is. So my suggestion to all the bloggers and people who are starting up is first look inside yourself. Just because someone else is doing it and someone else is doing it successfully, do not do it. That's my you know please try to understand yourself first and what you can offer your audiences, whether it is a startup, whether it is a blog, whether it is anything else. A lot of introspection is needed now rather than anything else. So, that's my suggestion to a lot of bloggers and
Great. So, how many articles? 7,000, right? Do you have 7,000 articles as
yeah,
of the now in
yeah,
track.in?
yes, yeah, about 7,500.
So tell us, how does one write 5,000 articles?
How does one write 5,000 articles over 5 years?
No, seriously. I mean, it requires a lot of
I,
self-discipline, right?
Yes, it requires a lot of self-discipline and it requires passion. And that's what I
Hmm.
was talking about. When you feel passionately about something, you can do it day in, day out. You can keep on doing it again and again and again. But if you're doing it for money or for some other reason, it cannot happen because what happens is you're not going to get success immediately. It takes time.
Hmm.
Everything takes a lot of patience and discipline, like you said. And then it happens. So I see a lot of new bloggers come to me, talk to me, sit with me. They say I want to work on tracking or I want to. I say okay, Ruko, I never say no to anyone. I say sit here, sit with me, and let me see what you do. And in 2 days, the guy gets bored or because everyone has got an idea about blogging or even nowadays YouTube or even stuff for that matter if they are doing some stuff.
Hmm.
It's patience, discipline, and self introspection. I think those three things are very important. So to answer the question, how to write 5,000 articles, you can only write if you have passion for something. You are a disciplined person. Only then you can do it. Otherwise, you cannot.
And what was your passion? How would you describe it?
If you had read my about page, I am a person who wants to learn every day. I cannot sleep if I have not learned something new. That is
Hmm.
that is what I am as a person. That is what I am. So what happens is when I learn something, another thing is I want to share it, and that is
Hmm.
how I've been able to do what I have been doing.
So, what are some tools or apps that you use on daily basis to keep yourself productive?
Uh, so I have a couple of um, extensions on my Chrome. I use Chrome as my browser, which track the amount of time I spend on social media and on work and stuff like that. So that for me, I have put a lock that if I spend more than 1 hour on social media throughout the day, it does not
Hmm.
allow me to either visit Facebook or Twitter or anything else. So I ensure that I only spend certain amount of time on social media. Nowadays, one of the biggest distractions is social media. Although you get a
Hmm.
lot of information from it, you also spend a lot of, or you tend to waste a lot of time on it. So
Right.
one of the tips that and I'll probably let you know later the extension that I use. But that and there are many of them available. My suggestion to all the people who are hearing this, please ensure that you limit your time on the internet, on social media, and try to do stuff that actually matters. For me, it is like interacting with my writers or brainstorming on a topic and stuff like that. So that is what it is. For me, my number one productive thing is to ensure that I do not spend a lot of time on social media, and I use a couple of extensions to ensure that I do not spend a lot of time and work more productively. So that is one of the things. Second, I have certain apps or there is Google Alerts. I don't know whether you know. A lot of people use it. I use Google Alerts extensively. So when I want to know something about a specific topic and a specific subject, I set Google Alerts for certain things, and they let me know that what is happening. It basically comes as a notification on the app, and I immediately come to know as it happens. So that is another thing that I use quite a lot to keep myself, focused on the topics that I want to read. I do not read just like that. I read only specific topics, which I ensure that they come to me rather than me going to them through Google Alerts.
So you also started this another venture called My Open Courses, right?
Yes, so that was my second. My first startup after I came back from US was Hover.in, Hover.in. It was an in-text advertising platform. Yeah, it was an in-text advertising platform. It got soft landed, it got the assets got acquired by a company. My second startup or venture was My Open Courses, which again, was My Open Campus and My Open Courses. My Open Campus, somehow we could not take it off the ground, but My Open Courses is doing well. It has over 500,000 downloads as an app, and it is going well. But I do not spend much time on it as of now. We are not taking it forward.
So what did you learn from those two experiences? I mean, startup is in itself is a whole
I will
experience.
tell you, yes, I will tell you that, there are very rare people who, taste success the first time. But when you are having a startup and you're passionate about something, success does not come. Then into 99.99% people, they have to go through the process. It's a roller coaster ride, so to say. Day in, day out, you're faced with failures, difficulties, uh, cash crunch, people crunch, resource crunch, this crunch, that crunch, and then a lot of development issues and stuff like that. Through all that, what happens is that the journey makes you stronger day by day, because you keep coming up with these problems and then overcoming them. Then another problem comes, then you overcome that, and then you start knowing this. That's how actually. So when they say that failure is the first step to success, that is absolutely true, because you learn so much from it, and you learn what not to do. There are in one of my talks, I tell this that success does not mean that you have this one thing you should do. It is about what you should not do. And these experiences, startup experiences, teach you that. What are the things you should not do? So, and then, you slowly move ahead to your goal, and from you achieve success. So that is what, 4 5 years of my these ventures, two ventures which I said, there were failures, there were successes as well, and that is what these startups have taught me.
Great. That I'm sure that will be super helpful for people who are watching this. In your opinion, what's the current state of news slash media industry, or the trends that you see?
It's changing. It's very dynamic. It is changing. Literally every week we see something new. It's not what it was 4 5 years back. It is not even what it was 2 years back. And especially in India, where mobile penetration and mobile usage, smartphone usage, about 70%. The way people consume media and news is going to be very different than what it is worldwide. So, we are in a churn. It keeps changing. But one thing is going to remain constant: smartphone. Your smartphone is going to be key to the way you consume your content. and you will see it's, we see changing, new apps coming up, new media apps and news app coming up. And that's what going to be. Smartphone is going to be the key. So every blogger out there should understand that mobile should be his main priority rather than desktop users. So that is one of the things that is going to change a lot.
So great. So you said कि content is king. You said it back then. You will say it right now. ठीक है? But हमारे यहाँ क्या होता है, when we say कि content is king, लोग समझते हैं कि it is about written content. And in the web and publishing, अभी current trend में, content can be anything, right? It can be a 30-second Facebook video. It can be a Snapchat. It can be a YouTube video, or it can be a written content, है ना? So how do you as a news publisher make sure कि आप वो Snapchat का या फिर Facebook Live का benefit उठा रहे हो in order to stay on the top of your game? Are we still doing that in India? And what's your current feeling?
I'll tell you. From a publisher's point of view, it is very important for him or her to understand their audiences, and they have to understand what their audiences use and choose the channels accordingly. Okay, if it is a gadget person, a gadget blogger or someone, he has to do videos, because nowadays people do not read long articles about a particular guy. They'll not read it. Rather they see a video. Okay, someone who is an expert in a particular area but is not interested in writing long articles, he can just use blogging like Twitter or Facebook. So for everyone it is different. Their audience define where the blogger or the publisher should be. So that is what is important. And if you said that only written articles is content, that is absolutely wrong. Content can be in any form. It could be an image, it could be a video, it could be a written content, it could be just a status update, it could be a 5-second video, it could be a 5-hour video. Everything is content. It is how, what topic you're talking about, what is the content you want to present to your client. So that is what, or your audience, that is what is important.
That's great. On that note, we'll end the show. Thank you so much, Arun, for giving your time. Is there something else that you want to share and give some thoughts?
I think throughout the interview, you have asked me so many questions. I have told everything I had. But to all the bloggers out there, especially writers, and I will tell you, think introspect, think about what your passion is, and be patient. So these 3 things are very, very important. Do not copy others. You are a unique person. You have unique abilities. Everyone has something or the other. Look at that and see how you can exploit it and share it with others. So that's my message to everyone listening.
That's such a great message. I totally agree with that. Thank you so much, Arun, for being with us, giving your time. It was an honor to have you here. Thank you so much.
Awesome. It was my pleasure. Thank you so much. It was fun.
Now, if you know what you're worth, now go out and get what you're worth. But you gotta be willing to take the hit. Not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you want to be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that.